Most of the object types in Amadine have at least one color that you can change. When this is possible, the app displays a color button. For example, a default shape has one stroke and one fill color in the Appearance panel. Text objects let you change the color in the control bar and in the Appearance panel. Any color button brings up either the standard color panel or its simplified version with only one section. This depends on what kind of color property you are adjusting. Let's explore the color panel in detail. All of the three sections have the opacity and blend mode settings at the top. The color section is used to choose a plain color for an object or effect. There are multiple ways to set a particular color. The eyedropper tool lets you copy a color from an object or effect in your design. If you know the code of the color, type or paste it into this field. This method used to encode colors is common for web design. Another method is to use these controls in the middle of the panel. Lastly, we have a library of swatches that store predefined colors. Let me show you how this works. To get the color of any pixel on the canvas, simply tap on the eyedropper. Then point the center of the magnification glass at the pixel whose color you want to pick. Now the red, green, and blue sliders are in the positions that correspond to the chosen color. This color is displayed in the sample circle. You can use the sliders to adjust the color that came from the eyedropper and also to set up a color from scratch. Let me remind you that any color that you can see on your screen can be created as a composition of the base colors. Currently, it is RGB, which stands for red, green, and blue. There are several other conventional ways to define a color. In this drop-down menu, we can also choose CMYK, which is a mixture of cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. It can also be a combination of hue, saturation, and brightness. The opacity slider comes together with each set of the color sliders. Colors in small circles represent the library of swatches. To use a color, just tap on it. The library is customizable. For example, we can select a color using the palette and then tap on the plus icon to create a new swatch. To reorder colors, you can drag a swatch to a new place. Once a swatch is no longer needed, long press on it and choose the Delete command from the pop-up menu. Let's explore the gradient section. The interactive preview displays the gradient and lets you arrange its colors. These two colors on the sides are base colors. Everything in the middle is the transition from one base color to another. We can drag one of the circles toward the center of the gradient. This makes the corresponding color take most of the gradient space. The button with two arrows above the preview reverses the order of the base colors. To change a base color, simply tap on it. Here we have the same color settings as we discussed earlier. You can also add more base colors to the gradient. Simply tap on the gradient to define the location for a new color. Then tap on it to adjust the color. To remove a color, just drag it outside. The controls below the preview define how the gradient should be applied to the object. The scale slider compresses the transition area. The rest of the space becomes taken by two plain colors. We can rotate the gradient in relation to the object. Finally, we can move the gradient off the object's center. In the gradient that we have now, colors vary along a line. It is called a linear gradient. Another gradient type that we can use is the radial gradient. These two buttons at the top switch the type. Swapping and adjusting colors work just the same as we did with linear gradients. Now we can skip to the geometric settings. The scale, as we can expect, reduces the amount of one color in favor of another. The position control moves the center of the gradient. The roundness slider lets us squeeze the gradient. In this way, we can fit it into a particular area. The circular control lets us adjust the location of the central color. It creates asymmetrical gradients in which colors are condensed at a particular side. The angle parameter rotates the gradient. It is useful with non-symmetrical gradients. The lower part of the panel contains the library of gradient swatches. Nothing new here compared with the color swatches. Now let's take a look at the larger picture. Objects can have multiple properties with particular colors, such as a stroke, fill, and shadow. The combination of these properties is called the object style. To apply a style from one object to another, you can copy it using the Copy Style and Paste Style commands that can be found in the menu of the Appearance panel. Your design might include multiple objects that serve the same purpose and consequently have the same fill or stroke color. That can lead to you needing to change their colors together. In order to select only the proper objects, you can select one of them, then open the menu and choose Select Same, and then Fill Color or Stroke Color. After that, just set a new color. The Select Same menu contains other useful options. For example, if you opt for the same appearance, only those objects whose properties on the Appearance panel that coincide will be selected. This includes everything from the stroke width to the direction of the shadow or amount of blur. The Appearance panel can swap the colors of a stroke and fill using this button. If an object has more than one stroke or fill, only the upper stroke and fill will swap the colors. The app allows you to change multiple colors of several objects at the same time. We do this by using the Recolor panel that can be activated in the menu of the Appearance panel. The upper section of Tools changes the hue, saturation, or brightness of all colors of the selected objects. The lower section lets you selectively set new colors to replace any of the present colors. This is all for this video. Thank you for watching.